This is the BK Lounge Podcast. Welcome to laughs, love, and crazy debates by your two favorite hosts, Burt and Kenny. Join us in talks about military life, relationships, golf life, and so much more. Your new favorite place to come hang out on Sundays. Introducing the BK Lounge Podcast, a Burt Speed Studios production. And now your hosts, Burt and Kenny.
Welcome in. We're back. Did you miss us?
You miss us? You miss me?
Why would they not miss me?
Because they missed me. They missed me. Whoa.
Just a quick clear of the throat as soon as I turn on the microphone.
Yeah, that's inappropriate.
That's not good. That's not good. Welcome in, everybody.
Welcome back.
Season 2 officially starting.
We're back, brother.
Bring it in, playa. We back. We're back in action.
What's going on?
What have we...
We have a lot to catch up on.
I know, we kind of like just... Yeah, left you high and dry there for, I was going to say a little bit, but a long bit.
A long bit.
Yeah.
It's been 7 months.
7 months since the last podcast. Yikes.
Yeah. I think we had just moved into our current home, our new house.
Yeah, because you were saying we did one podcast.
We did one podcast.
In the new house.
And then our lives fell through the cracks.
In a good way, chat, not a bad way.
Yeah.
We just got busy.
Yep.
And at the end of the first season, we were like missing Sundays, trying to record on Sundays. And, my God. We were missing a lot of Sundays. We were traveling, working, family visiting, family moving, and it just got to be a little much. And we didn't really do a good job of kind of ending season 1.
No. It was like an Irish goodbye.
Right. We like had a podcast for the dads. I remember that.
Yep.
And then we were like, all right, we love the dads. We're out of here.
Yep.
And it was not intentional.
No.
But that's very much on us. And we're excited to be back. Mm-hmm. And we'll have some new flow and new timing of the podcast and all that. And we'll get into it later on.
Yep.
But yeah, we're back. The BK Lounge is back.
We're back.
Back in action.
I'm back.
We are back.
We are back. Most importantly, I'm back. Blair?
We are back. As one podcast hosting duo.
Okay.
We're back.
Yep. Deal.
What are you drinking in this? Why do you have 2 cups?
I have a little Gatorade in there.
Oh.
And then I took your water.
Okay.
We, as pretty much most of America, we are sick. We have gotten the holiday bug. And it has been a poor 48 hours.
Yeah, I feel like over the last 2 to 3 weeks, we've been sick for 3 days. Mm-hmm. And then we'll feel better for 3 days. And then we get sick again for 4 days. We'll feel better for 2 days. Right. Is that the new big thing that's going around right now? Because I keep seeing it all over TikTok and stuff of influenza A, new crazy wild virus. Where you think you're getting better, but you're actually not getting better, and you're actually getting worse when you're feeling better.
Right. No, I think that...
What do you think we have?
I don't think that we have the flu, and I knock on wood because it doesn't mean I want it. But I think that there's this... I don't know, it's this bug, it's like a respiratory bug, where it's just almost like a really bad head cold.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's not good. I will say that. I'm not enjoying it. And the worst part is right at night when you're getting tired and you just want to go to bed, and then when you wake up. Mm-hmm. I hate waking up and going to bed sick. It's awful.
Yeah. There's no around it, though.
No, I know that, but
But yeah.
I don't know, but we're sick. But we're back. I know some people were in ads. But season 2 of the BK Lounge is here. For those of you who don't know, we do film this, if you're listening to this in your car, on Spotify, Apple, whatever it is, tomorrow, the next day, or whatever. We do film this live on Twitch. So if you hear us interacting with people or mentioning ads, subscriptions, anything like that, we film it live on Twitch. But we're back. And for those of you who don't know, we are Burt and Kenny. This is our amazing podcast. Season 2 is here.
Season 2.
We talk about literally anything and everything most of the time. It's a lot about what's going on in our lives, and what we love to have is throughout the podcast, we'll ask for interaction from you all. We also have a portion of our Discord and our social media that you can reach out to us, give us topics that you might want to talk about, maybe a situation that you're in. I had some asked during stream today. They didn't give me enough context, and I really wanted them to like go into Discord and put it in there, but I don't think they did.
Yeah.
It was like, hey, we went to dinner on Christmas together. We got back to the house, and my girlfriend told me to leave, so I left my promise ring, like, and now she wants me back, and I'm like, I need more context.
That's a lot.
Yeah.
That's
but if
a
you
lot.
do have stuff, going on in your life, or, and you want to stay anonymous, you can reach out in our socials. Both Kenny and I have our own Instagrams, and then we have a podcast Instagram. You can find that all in the Discord. Links are floating around through the Twitch live stream chat as we go out throughout the episode today. But then as soon as we're done here, we post it on Apple Music and Spotify. You can find it, the BK Lounge Pod. Listen to it later on if you got a dip or you missed something with an ad. But we're back.
We're back.
We're back like we never left.
I know.
A lot of stuff has happened.
I know. I don't even know where to start.
Yeah, like, I didn't really think about this, but do we have an outline?
No.
No outline.
Nope.
Okay.
It's been a little bit of a chaotic day with us being sick. I don't think I got off the couch until about 3 o'clock today.
Yeah. I woke up not feeling great. Had to get a haircut.
Yep.
Got the old cut. Kenny mentioned sickness.
Yep. Sorry. Apologies.
COVID?
Eh?
Kenny mentioned while I was at the barber that she wants to make fancy ramen for dinner. And I was like, okay, I'll go get the goods.
Yep.
Got the goods. Harris Teeter. Busy.
What does that have to do with anything?
And also, it took me forever to find the crispy onions.
I don't know why.
Anywho. But yeah, we had a busy day. Came home. Ran to get some ginger ale, some Gatorade. I thought you were dabbing on them. Then went back out, got Gatorade. What's it called? This? Ginger ale, some cough drops. Came home. I streamed. Kenny hung out on the couch.
Yeah.
Played some Fortnite.
Anyways, busy day. No outline, but some big things to catch up on.
Yeah, where do we start? So we did move. So if you noticed and watched season 1, we're a little bit further apart.
Right now? Mm-hmm. I think we're more face fronting.
Yeah, the chairs I didn't change the positioning of. But our old house and my old studio had a smaller wall, and some of you are like, this is the same exact place because we had all of the same lights, the same background, the same chairs. Everything was identical, but it is, in fact, a bigger room. Kenny's struggling right now.
I can't breathe.
You haven't coughed this much all day.
No.
Until right now.
I think I swallowed my cough drop a little bit in the wrong hole. So I literally am choking. I'm a little warm. But yeah, so our studio's new.
Yep.
Our home is new.
Yep.
I think our biggest change, I would say, is...
We got a truck.
No, that wouldn't be our biggest change. I would say our whole family is now officially here.
Yes, because we were talking about it for many episodes because our family kept coming down to visit for different things and all sorts of different stuff. But then they finally moved. They moved down. Kenny's dad was the first one to move down.
Yep.
Mom was still back in Vermont working, finishing up, buttoning up things back in Vermont. Then your sister shortly after, about a month later, right? Because your dad came down in June. Mm-hmm. Your sister and her family moved down in... No. He was May, Katie was June.
Yep. Katie moved down in June. And then your
Yeah,
parents.
my parents came in August.
Yep. The last week of August, and then my mom was the last one.
So we literally have both of our parents. She has her sister and her family right down the road.
Mm-hmm.
Her sister's about 5 to 10 minutes, and her parents are about 15-ish, and then my parents are about 20 minutes away.
Yeah.
So it was a lot. Like, we were barely on our boat this summer.
Yeah.
And the very first summer I moved down, we were on the boat every day off, every weekend, and it was just strange not being on the boat as much because we were helping people move, getting them settled, obviously spending time with our family because that's what we wanted to do, and we were very lucky to have that. But it became a very busy summer.
Yeah.
Very busy summer.
Yeah, no, it was crazy. I mean, even there was a point, I think it was middle of maybe September, October. I'm like, when was the last time that we did something just the two of us?
Yeah, we hadn't had like date nights. We weren't like just going out to dinner because we wanted to. It was more of like a neither of us want to cook, so we DoorDash something.
Mm-hmm.
And that was like the extent of like Kenny and I time.
Yeah. I mean, we like not even just that. We didn't have much time to spend with our friends or like just doing, just doing things with just us, but not necessarily in a bad way.
No, just different.
Right. Wow. I can't catch my breath, but it will be okay. Maybe I should have water.
Yeah,
Mix in a water.
Take a swig. Does that feel better?
Yeah, that feels great. But yeah, so our whole families are here. Your dad works for me.
Yes, my dad got a job working for Kenny at the country club.
So, biggest thing is his dad retired. He retired in Vermont before they moved. Great exit, was super excited. They both moved down here, got a beautiful home right down the road.
Yep.
But, like, obviously when you retire, that doesn't mean, like, your life stops. And so to, like, keep busy, I was like, why don't you, come work for me? You can
And
work
before he even moved down, you had said that, and he didn't know if you were serious.
Right. And I was like, you can just be a starter at the club I work at, and we'll get you a part-time job. And, it is completely different than what he's used to, but, sits in a golf cart, sits outside, talks to people, but a very simple but enjoyable job. But I think the best part is that I'm his boss.
Well, I think that's his like favorite point.
Yeah.
Because like my
dad's a great working relationship.
Right. My dad's a huge sociable guy, like wants to know everybody, loves interacting with people. None of his jobs throughout his entire life have been outdoors. Mm-hmm. So like for him to be outside, not in Vermont, in nicer weather, even in the wintertime, is a huge perk for him.
Yeah.
Then you get to interact with a bunch of people. All great. But then as soon as Kenny became his boss, he was like over the moon.
Right.
That kind of like sent him.
Yeah. But no, it's a lot of fun. I mean, just days where he's at work and then I get to work and I'll mosey my way down and I'll mess with him a little bit. Like the other day, I just drove by and I just glared at him on my drive by and he's like, "Are you gonna stop?" Or no, I didn't. I like to mess with him, and that's probably the best part.
And he loves it.
Yeah,
he loves it because then like we have family dinners with everybody, and a lot of you know that on Sundays I don't stream. We have family dinner, and on Sundays it's kind of funny because I know that he loves it, but he gets to talk like shop or work with Kenny, and Mr. So-and-so came by, or I can't believe Mrs. Yada Yada was there doing this, that, and the other thing, or whatever else, and they have this nice little connection with work outside of the family, something that's kind of like their own, which I know he very much enjoys.
Mm-hmm. No, it's a lot of fun. It's nice to have him, and there was a lot of the first couple of weeks, he's like, I'm like, not just him, but everybody's like, "Oh, I met your future father-in-law." And I'm like, "Oh yeah? Who's that?" And they're like, "Stacy the starter." I was like, "Oh, Stacy." Yeah, he is Nick's dad. So it's it's really nice. And I mean, it's just something, we have a good relationship, so it works for the two of us, and it works for all of us.
Yeah.
It's we have had moments where I'm like, I know you're going out of town, but you haven't told me in the work setting that you're going out of town. And then he was like, okay. But yeah, no.
I think he's still trying to figure it out.
Well, yeah, I mean,
Just
it's
like any new employee, regardless of a some sort of connection prior to the actual.
and this time of year is hard because we're in the Carolinas, so it is cold. Like his first couple of weeks, we started getting like a good cold snap, and he'd show up in shorts.
He was very excited. He's similar to Kenny's dad, where they want to wear shorts as often as they can.
Yeah.
Because they're in the South and it's not Vermont, and they can wear shorts in November, and,
Yeah.
and power to him. But he quickly learned that.
He needed to get him some pants.
Yeah.
And he did.
Fleece lined pants.
Yeah. Back onto the warm train for him.
Yeah, but then like Christmas Day, we had a crazy warm snap, and it was 75 degrees on Christmas.
Yeah, we were wearing short sleeves and shorts.
Which was absolutely insane, and actually sweating.
Yeah.
Not complaining.
No.
Love it.
No.
Like we were thinking about literally ripping up on the boat and then having Christmas on the boat, but
yeah,
we did not.
But like this week is now freezing, so it's just
in the 30s and 40s. But again, it's a lot better than back home where there's 6 to 12 to 18, 24 inches of snow.
Right.
And it's 0 degrees. So I will take this any day over back home.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, so his mom got a part-time job.
Yep, she's working. My mom used to manage a grocery store back home as a part-time job on top of her full-time job growing up. And when she moved down here, she thought she'd get back into it, and I don't think she likes it. I think it's very different for her.
I wouldn't say that she doesn't like it. I don't think that the position that she's in is conducive to what she wants.
That, and I also think, because I do think it's getting better for her, I think it was something completely new and something I think she wasn't used to and her like body wasn't used to, so it was a lot. But now that she's getting into the rhythm of it, like I talked to her I think last week, and she's like, yeah, no, it's getting better, I'm understanding more and I'm getting used to things, so it's obviously not as bad, because it is more demanding than her previous part-time job after she retired, where she was sitting in an office, interacting with people. This one has her moving around the grocery store, changing out tags and sitting on the floor and reaching out the top rack and then heading to checkout and all that stuff. And the grocery store that we go to, they don't have conveyor belts. You just bring up your cart and they get everything out of your cart for you. And as a customer, the 2-tier cart I love the best because it's easy, it's nice and whatever. But she made the point of like, yeah, it's great for you, but you got to think of how many times like a cashier has to go down to that small one and get underneath it or whatever. And especially for people that are older, like that gets kind of old and uncomfortable.
Right.
And I never really thought of that because again, a lot of the people, it's either like, young kids in high school and college or, retirement age folks who are doing it. So I never really thought about it. And I was like, yeah, that probably wouldn't even feel good for, anybody to constantly do. So I get it. But I do think it's getting better for her.
Yeah.
I do think she should find a job that's more suiting
Right.
in the sense of what would actually make her happy. And I'm not saying that job's not making her happy, but I really do think that a different style job and she would enjoy it much more.
Yeah.
But
I agree. But yeah, I mean, everybody's kind of starting like almost a new life down here, it's really fun to watch. My sister has been doing hair for, I don't know, I would say 15 years. So I couldn't tell you the exact number, but it's been a long time. Her and my mom sold their salon up in Vermont. But she just took, what is it, the financial advisory board for something. She's getting into...
Yeah, she got like her... I don't want to say certificates because it's more official, but almost like her license.
Yeah.
She had to take an exam for her financial license in what section that she was going into, and it's a tiered process, so she's working at her licensing.
So she's getting into a financial role, like for a company, but like
It's like advising, right?
Yeah, pretty much a
financial advisor.
financial advisor, and she's learning a lot. She took this massive test where she had to read a bunch and study and do all of that. But like, just watching my older sister completely change her career at 38 years old is insane to me.
I mean, I mean, I can like connect with a lot of them, and I mean, you can too because you've done it numerous times. But for like me, my dad, your mom, my dad, your sister, her husband, like none of us had lived somewhere else. Like
Right.
you left Vermont, went to Florida, came to North Carolina. Like all of us were first time like transplanters, if you will.
Mm-hmm.
And that's a lot. Like I remember I had the opportunity years and years ago to move to it's in Tennessee. It's a big hotspot.
Nashville?
Yeah, to Nashville. There's a Predator wing there. And I had an opportunity to put in for a job there. And I was super gung-ho about it. Then I got really scared of like moving because I didn't know anybody. I was going alone. Like that's a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And luckily, like when I moved, I had you.
Mm-hmm.
When your family moved, they had you and us. And my parents, same thing. So like it's nice to be able to come down to a place and move your whole life when you've got those connections. But like it's a lot.
Yeah.
It's a lot because I know like my parents were struggling in the sense of like missing family, missing friends.
Mm-hmm.
Your sister's your sister and brother-in-law are also probably feeling that same thing. Your parents, like I miss our friends. Like you probably miss people from Florida and Vermont. Like it's a lot.
Yeah.
It can be a lot.
Yeah, I mean, change is one of the hardest things, but everybody's dealing with it differently, and, you try and be malleable to what their needs are because you want to support them. You want them to feel, included. You want them to feel comfortable because moving like this is the most uncomfortable thing that I think anybody could ever do is leaving, a place of comfort and going somewhere completely different.
And then changing your jobs altogether.
Correct.
Because nobody's really doing the same things that they were other than kind of your dad and kind of Justin. But
Right.
It looks a lot different now that they moved. Like
Mm-hmm.
I remember when I first moved down here, I didn't know what to do.
Right.
I didn't know what to do. And again, I went from the military to full-time streaming, being at home, which was, a lot in of itself, but being in a brand new place,
Mm-hmm.
living with you in a relationship where you hadn't really lived with anybody. It was a new start for both of us, like learning those different things and not saying that our parents and, your sister needs to, but there's just so many different things that are affected in a move. Like they've got kids in a new school system, missing their friends and massive changes and knowing nobody. Like it's a lot. And
Right.
I'm glad we were here because, and again, that's what a lot of our busy time was this summer was, doing things with them, showing them around, helping them with their house and set up this and help watch the kids that or whatever it may be. And we got super busy.
Right.
Super busy. And it was good because we've got family here. We're not driving 14 hours to go back to Vermont for holidays or having to, if my parents moved down and yours stayed up, pick which holiday we're doing. Like, I think this holiday season went really well.
Yeah. And we did everything together.
Yeah.
Which was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
But, I mean, I think all in all is having everybody down here and that whole process it gives not just us an appreciation of having them here, but also giving them an appreciation of what we've done as well.
Right.
It's just like our home is now their home and everybody's kind of making it their own. And like, I think of just our parents is they've been renting for a handful, almost the same amount of time.
Yeah.
But they now are both in homes and have space.
Right.
They like things that they haven't had. Your parents were in an apartment building. My parents were in seasonals.
Right. And my parents were dead set on like, oh, we'll just rent an apartment again. Like it'll be totally fine.
Mm-hmm.
And back home in Vermont, there's not a lot of houses for rent.
Right.
It's apartments, and if you do find a house, it's built in the 1920s, and it's 3 bedrooms, 1,500 square feet, $3,500 a month. And I was like, I know you guys have kind of like a comfort space in an apartment, but when you get down here, let's look at houses to rent because my parents don't want to own. And they found a brand new neighborhood, single level house, 3 bedrooms, 2 bath, garage, fenced-in yard, front porch, back deck, all for the same price, if not cheaper than their apartment back in Vermont.
Right.
So it gives them like their space. And I was actually over at my parents' house just a couple days ago, and my dad still was like, we were walking out, he's like, man, I love this house.
Right.
And I'm like, that's what I like to hear. That's what I
Right.
like to hear. I'm glad they kind of went out of their comfort zone and looked at houses and, are in what they're in.
Right.
Because the same thing like us, like we're renting right now, and we are renting, a house that's bigger than our last one in an all rental neighborhood. So a rental company built this entire neighborhood. It's all rental houses, and we'll be here maybe up until this June or next December or whenever, when we're ready to buy a house of our own. But it's the housing options are way better down here, and way more affordable.
But yeah, no, it's been a lot of fun. It was a fun summer. I mean, even just experiencing things that aren't an option like back home. Like your first summer is like, we went to concerts, we went to, different outdoor activities.
Yeah, I immediately think of like when your sister and Justin went to that concert with us.
Right.
Like there would been no option for that in Vermont.
We went to a comedian.
Yep. And
Yeah.
if not, we would have to drive to Montreal or Boston or New York, spent a ton of money, but instead we just drove a half hour, had a great time, drove back home, and on to the next day.
Right. But yeah, no, that's probably been our biggest change of, what's been really going on this summer was our family. They're all here.
Right.
They're all here within a throwing distance too.
Yeah, 25-minute radius. And then on top of that, your aunt is talking about moving down too, which adds another family member, which is great.
Right.
She was just visiting on and off for the last 3-ish weeks. She was here for about a week, back home to Vermont for a handful of days, then back for another 4 or 5 days, which has been great.
Right.
And we look forward to having her down here as well, because she's a big part of the family.
No, it was nice. Her and her boyfriend are kind of in that same field of trying to figure out what they want, if they want a townhouse,
apartment,
house, whereabouts. But yeah, no, very exciting. It's nice to start luring some of our family to be down here.
Yes.
Which is nice. It's nice for us.
Very nice for us. Selfishly, we're very happy. And again, I still think about like when everyone was down, like your entire family was down here, not this past Thanksgiving, obviously, but the one prior. And they were like, let's move down here. And I was like, yeah, that'd be awesome. Like, never put any stake into it, never put any like real thought to them actually ever moving.
Yeah.
And now we are, a year and a month later, and everybody's moved down.
Yeah.
Which is wild to think about.
I know. It all happened very, very, very quickly.
And I'm here for it. I love it. I love it because we get to, when like Katie and Justin first moved down, like I was popping over every other day, helping them out, just checking in on them, hanging out with them. But it's so nice just to be able to be like, hey, Sundays, everybody's coming over, or we're going there, and we just have Sunday dinners, we play games, we hang out. It's really nice to have.
Right. But yeah. So that's been going on.
Yeah.
What else has been going on?
We got engaged.
We got engaged.
No. I just had a brain fart.
Oh.
We went from not knowing each other really in high school, playing on the same golf team in high school. I'm going to skip over one. Reconnecting after college, after she went to college. Becoming roommates, me falling madly in love, us going our separate ways. She went to Florida, I deployed, coming back, still madly in love, visiting her in Florida, her not loving me back.
I loved you, but I didn't love you like that.
Yeah, but you told your friend something in Florida. What'd you tell your friend in Florida many years ago that when we were just friends?
You weren't there, you wouldn't know.
You told me, though.
I don't.
And she even said it in your Instagram DMs after you got married.
I didn't get married yet.
Engaged. What'd she say?
She didn't say nothing to me. You mind your own business.
Yeah, well, I'll tell the story then. Kenny told her friend, her roommate, when she was living in Florida, that she was going to marry me one day. And I found that out, like, after I moved down here and we were already in a relationship. That blew my mind.
Yeah.
That blew my mind.
Yeah. I did tell her that. I said, there's something about that guy. I think I'm going to marry him one day. And then it all came out.
It all came out. Everyone who's always like, oh, you're never going to get out of the friend zone. You're never going to get out of the friend zone. Or you never hear anybody getting out of the friend zone. It took me years. But I got out of the friend zone.
Bring it here, player.
Right here, pimp.
Yep. Yeah.
Friend zone to in a relationship to engaged.
We're engaged.
Engaged, and you had no idea that it was going to happen.
We're roommates and we're engaged.
Yes.
Romance.
Yes.
So are you going to tell him? Or?
You were going to tell him.
I blacked out. I don't remember.
But you know. Tell him.
So everybody's a liar in my life.
She's still very upset that nobody said anything to her, which is a wild thing. And then I think she's just more mad that she didn't know.
I'll never trust you again.
Yep. That's what I keep hearing.
I'll never trust him again. But no, my aunt had just left from my mom's birthday bash. And then my brother was coming into town. And so we had about 3 weeks of just people here. And then my mom was like, oh, let's go get coffee. And I was like, ugh, no, I don't want to. I want to just sit on the couch. Literally, Nick and I hadn't been alone in our home for weeks at this point. And
Sundays are usually our days where we just do nothing.
Yeah. Sundays we have family dinner at night, but like all morning we usually just beep bop around the house and we just mind our own business, right? And so I was like, the place that my mom said that we were going to go, I looked up and I go, it's closed. It doesn't open until Tuesday. I go, why don't we just go on Tuesday? And they were like, no, we're going to do it today. And I was like, okay, I'm going to take my own car because one of my employees was sick. And so I had 2 guys there on a Sunday by themselves. And so I was like, I'm going to go check on them after we go get coffee, but I'm going to take my own vehicle. And so they're like, no, we're going to come pick you up. And I'm like, okay, whatever. Didn't think much of it because at this point, I'm like, I'm never going to win. And to be honest, I blame my sister because she's really not somebody that you say no to. Like, if she's telling you that's what you're doing, that's what you're doing. And so I was like, okay, fine, whatever. So they came and picked me up. We went to this other coffee shop. It was really nice.
But before that, Kenny came down the stairs to me laying on the couch and was like, I don't want to go. I don't want to go get coffee. I just want to couch rot and relax. And I was like, please. I'm trying to think in my head of what I can say that isn't going to tip her off or piss her off. And I'm like, no, like, just go. Like, you'll have fun. It'll be quick, whatever. Like, just go have fun. And she was like, yeah, I guess. And I was like, okay, I think we're good.
At that point, I was annoyed with him. Like, why? You don't want to stare at me? Laying on the couch? Love me? Whatever. So I was like, now I'm going because I don't want to be near you. So we go, we do whatever. But we were going to stop at my work because they needed to open up my safe to get something out for one of the other guys. But I'm the only one that has the keys. And so I'm looking around. I was like, I left my keys at home. I was like, dang. And so we had to come back here. But my mom was like, well, your dad's out shopping. He borrowed Justin's truck. I'm going to go meet him. Katie has to go put the kids down. And then we'll reconvene, for Sunday dinner. And I was like, okay. And we had gotten like 2 big boxes of pastries. And I'm like, I'm going to take them inside. And they were both like, no. And I was like, first of all, why? I was like, Katie, you have 3 mongrel kids that are going to eat these before we can even have them for dessert for family dinner tonight. And then, Mom, you're out shopping and they're going to melt. And they were like, okay, fine. So I have 2 giant boxes of pastries. And we pull into our neighborhood and our garage door is closed.
Which it's never closed. Kenny leaves in the morning. opens up the garage and leaves. She usually shuts it. Then when I get up, I put around the house and I open up the garage, and the garage will stay open until she comes home from work.
Yeah. Like, garage closed means nobody's here.
Right.
But, so, garage is closed. The Jeep was in the driveway. And I'm like, huh. What is he doing in there? Where he had to shut the garage. So, I'm juggling this box of pastries. And I open up my car and I hit the garage door open button. And it doesn't open. And I am mad. And so I hit it again. I'm jamming it. I'm like, why is my button not working? And my sister's standing there looking at me. She goes, you're just going to have to go through the front door. And I'm like, I don't want to go through the front door.
We never use our front door, ever.
And
Ever.
I was like, no. I have no interest in going through the front door. And she was just like, you want me to use my finger code? Because we have a finger pad to unlock the door. And I'm like, no, I can get into my own house. I go, why would he give me the remote that's going to die? So now I'm blaming, like, Nick. And I'm like, it's his fault. He told me to go this morning, and now my button's dead. And then he closed the garage on me. So I'm out on the front porch. My sister's driving away, but she's yelling at me. I'm yelling at her. And I say some choice words about Nick. Yelling him, knowing he's going to hear me inside. Like, it's a joke, but right. I'm like, I said some things that I won't repeat here, but I open the door, but I have my back to the hallway. And I didn't really think much of it because I was expecting my dogs to run out, but they weren't there. So I, like, turn around, and I see flowers on the ground. I see candles. I see pictures. And then I look up and I shut the door and I see a camera and it's like the reverse of a phone and I'm looking at myself. And I'm like, what in the heck is going on right now? So I was like, all right, I don't know what is going on, but it's all freaking me out. And I was like, oh, is he just like doing like a nice gesture? Like we haven't had a moment alone. I was just complaining.
I think the words you said as soon as you realized that there was something off, you said, what the hell?
I did.
And then you kept walking.
No, I did. And I was like, what the hell is going on? And so I come to the end of the hallway. And he's standing in front of the Christmas tree. There's flowers. There's, like, at this point, I start blacking out.
Start getting warm.
I start sweating, and I'm like, what is happening? And then I start cussing, because I'm like, what are you doing?
Because she's a sailor.
And I'm like, what are you doing right now? And he was like, I need to talk to you. And I'm like, no, you're not. You don't want to talk to me. And he's like, yeah, come over here. And I'm still, mind you, holding these pastries. And I was like, there is 0% that you're doing this right now. And he starts going into his spiel. And at this point, I look at him and I go, I'm going to faint.
Yeah.
I'm going to faint. And then I start actually blacking out because at that point, I'm like, I don't know what you're saying. I'm reading a blanket on the couch that says it's always been you. I'm looking at him. He's staring at me. And then he gets down on one knee. And I'm like, there is no way you're doing this right now. 0% chance.
Verbatim words out of her mouth. There's no way you're doing this right now.
And I'm like, wow, that's crazy. And so he asked. And then all of a sudden I hear like a crow screech in the background. And it's my mom and my sister running in. Because at this point, he's asked the question. There was a pause. I am like standing there like, I ended up saying yes because we have it all on video. And then from there I was shaking and crying and baffled.
In shock. Because
shock.
when we talked about getting engaged, she told me verbatim, I will know when it's going to happen because I know the men in my life. As soon as you ask my dad, I'm going to know he knows. and you're not going to eat dinner because you're going to be so nervous, and that'll give me a cue that something's coming.
It's not necessarily you. I've always thought because of my dad. Like, my dad is a marshmallow. He's not a marshmallow to a lot of people.
No.
But when it comes to his kids, soft.
Yep.
And when it comes to something as big as an engagement and pretty much his daughter getting married, like, I watched it with my sister. He was a mess for that. And I was like, I can only imagine. And I was like, no, I'm going to know, because he won't be able to talk to me. He won't be able to look at me. He'll be weird. I know that man.
And I had to literally, after I asked permission and we had our conversation I had my conversation with your parents, I literally said, Robbie, she thinks she is going to know as soon as you and I have had this conversation. So keep that in mind. And he laughed and he goes, oh, she's going to have no idea. And I was like, okay, I like that. I like that. Keep that energy up, Robbie.
Yeah. So, and then, I don't know, like, it was weird. It was, like, all ironic, because all week people are like, oh, like, do you think that you're going to get engaged? I was like, no, he'll probably do it in the spring. Like, we've talked about it. We've had a lot going on, blah, blah, blah.
And your sister gave me, it was either your sister or me that came up with the bright idea of, it was right when your Aunt Tam was about to leave. We were eating dinner, and it was either me or your sister that thought, why not throw it out of like, oh, well, once Tam leaves and before your brother gets to town, maybe we'll go ring shopping. So she really thinks that there's no possibility of it happening anytime soon. And again, it was either your sister and I, and we both were like, that's a great idea. And I did it, and you're like, yeah, we can do that. That sounds good. And I was like, perfect. She has no idea. And popped the question. Her mom's first question out of her mouth was, did you have any idea? And you're sobbing, no, I didn't. And I was like, perfect. But that day for me was not coffee and pastries. I was freaking out the moment I woke up. The night before, we also weren't feeling great during that time. I took 2 shots of liquid NyQuil Severe to make sure I fell asleep, because I was like, I need to make sure I sleep. I'm not tossing and turning all night. And I actually sleep. I was actually worried that I was going to sleep through my alarm, and you were going to come back before I even woke up. So I set an alarm, and thankfully you woke up, and I was aware that you were awake. So I just got up, turned off my alarm, went downstairs, and was just waiting patiently. Like, I'm texting your mom, texting your sister, texting my dad.
Yeah, he was just sitting on the couch, and I come downstairs, and I'm like, what are you doing? And he's like, nothing.
Watching my show.
I'm watching a show. I'm just going to catch up on shows.
And my dad was coming over to get the dogs, so when it all went down, the dogs weren't jumping up and being crazy. So he was like 2 blocks away, parked at a Food Lion in the parking lot, waiting for me to give him the signal to come in, grab the dogs, and leave. They finally leave. I text my dad, like, come on over. I start getting all of the stuff out of the closet in the studio, because I've been hiding all the decorations and stuff for the proposal. I'm literally running around the house. I catch myself in the mirror, and I'm like, oh my God, I didn't shave. I had like scruffies on my cheek, and my neck was all overgrown. I'm like, I need to shave this. So I shaved that, and then I started having weird problems with the cameras, because I started freaking out. And I was like, well, I'll come back to the cameras, and I'm running around. I'm laying rose petals everywhere. I'm trying to figure out where the heck I'm going to put these photos. I was going to do them on the wall, and I was like, I don't want to rip the paint. And I was going to do the TV. I was like, I don't want the glare with the cameras. So I put them one spot, set up the table, and your sister or your mom was like, oh, we're finishing up soon. And I was like, I need more time. Like, I'm freaking out. I'm sweating. Like, I have windows open, heat's off. I'm freaking out. And like, all right, we'll stall for a little bit. Like, maybe stop and get gas. Did you guys stop on the way home at a gas station at all?
No.
No? Okay. And I was freaking out. I'm like, okay, I think I'm good.
Well, yeah, because both of my mom and my sister went to the bathroom. And they were like, you have to go in and look at the bathroom. I was like, I'm not going in there to look at the bathroom. My mom was like, oh, I have a video. And Katie was like...
Yeah, she did show me that she was very impressed with the bathroom. But your sister called me from the bathroom and was like, hey, how's it looking? She was... Because they had originally told me you wanted to go to Raintree. And I was like, perfect. That'll buy me enough time to hopefully calm down. Everything will be set, and I can just have some time to chill. And I'm like, perfect. That's awesome. She's going to the club. That'll buy up at least a half hour. And then I get another text. She forgot her keys. We're on our way. And I was like, oh my God. Okay, so I'm literally standing outside. It was a colder day. I'm going through what I'm going to say. I'm tracking you. I'm waiting for the text from your mom of like 3 minutes out or whatever else. And then I finally realize that you're like about to pull in. I'm watching through the peephole. I see the car. Then your mom texts me, we're here. And I'm like, I'm freaking out. I have the camera of the front of the house pulled up. I'm looking through the peephole because I don't trust the camera if there's a lag and she's all of a sudden going to be at the door. And they're out talking in the driveway for 10 minutes. She's just standing there and I'm like, oh my God, what's happening? And I thought you had caught on to something and that's why you were talking and you just didn't want to come in because you were freaking out.
I was going to say no.
I thought you were freaking out and I'm like, oh God, she knows. And then you start coming towards the door and I go into the living room and I hear what you're saying and I'm like, oh God, she's not saying anything. Like, she has no idea. And then you walk in, I hear what the hell, and I'm like, oh God, she has really no idea. And then you turn the corner, we kind of talked a little bit. I'm like, oh, she really has no idea. Went through the whole thing. You did say yes, it's on camera, so you can't deny it. And then everyone started crying. It was perfect. It was at home. It wasn't in public.
It wasn't on Christmas.
It wasn't on Christmas. Two things that I knew Kenny didn't want. Nothing in public where a bunch of people are watching us, and not on a holiday. Check and check.
Would you have wanted that?
On a holiday? No. Would I mind if we went to a place that had a really nice, beautiful Christmas tree and it wasn't like shoulder to shoulder people and I proposed? I wouldn't mind. I don't care.
Ugh.
Because my biggest thing,
Yuck.
my biggest battle was trying to figure out how the hell am I going to get photos of this and video of it if it's not going to be in public. Or I was thinking, okay, we'll go somewhere, whether it be a trip in the weekend or, I thought about, we'll go for a walk on the Greenway like we did when you visited. And then I'm like, if I do this outside of the house where nobody else is, how am I going to get photos of this? Because I knew that you probably wanted photos of it at least. I wanted photos of it.
Well, no, because this was also another thing. I looked like the bottom of my foot. I was disgusting because I was angry. I was wearing these socks. So if anybody's watching, I was wearing these Rudolph socks. But I was like, it's always been a thing. I wear a hat to work. But I literally was like, I don't want to look like a doormat when you ask. And guess what? I looked like a doormat.
And what if when you came down, I said, oh, you're going to wear that? Or, oh, why don't you do your hair? Or, oh, why don't you do your makeup?
No, that could have been my sister. My sister could have done her part and made sure that I didn't look like a sponge.
Well, that's what I told him. I was like, well, tell her you're going to like some bougie place and have to look nice or something.
Ugh.
And that didn't go through. But she had no idea. And I was like, I had some different variations. I originally thought like, oh, we'll go to the mountains again. And I'm like, if we plan a random trip, she's going to think it's going to happen. And then I was like, okay, well, I'll just do it somewhere in public, but with not a bunch of people. But I'm like, it's fall, everything's dead, and it's getting colder. Not ideal, and how am I going to get a photographer in there? And then my last plan was we were going to go to dinner one night. Your sister and mom were going to decorate the house, and we were going to come back to it. The garage door was going to be broken. And I was like, and it just didn't work like that. Because I was originally going to do it the weekend of the bike event, but your ring got delayed an entire week, and that threw everything off. So then I just decided, get you out of the house, one day off. I decorate everything. I rented cameras from a lens company, big, massive Canons, and put 2 of them in the living room, had an old iPhone in the front porch, or the front entryway, and I unplugged our garage door opener, disconnected it from the lever, and then locked it shut. And I was so paranoid that something wasn't going to work right, or something was going to work. So I went out into my car after I did all these things and just started hitting the button of my Jeep to see if somehow it was going to unlock itself, reconnect, and plug in, and it didn't. And that still wasn't enough for me because I was paranoid. So I got into your car and started hammering your button. And I'm like, okay, I think we're safe. The garage door is definitely off limits, and there's no way she's going to be able to go in. And it all worked out. We got photos of it. We got videos of it. Not in public. Your nails weren't bad. And it wasn't on a holiday. I think that's a job well done.
Yeah, it was nice. Yeah, it was nice. It was good.
And then, after the dust settled, we went to family dinner, celebrated with everybody. We got back home, and we looked at each other, and Kenny says, "What do we do now?"
I was like,
And I was like, I don't know. Like, we've already told some of our friends. We hadn't, announced anything to, like, the stream or put anything on social media. And even the friends that we had told were like, when are you guys going to get married? Like, what date do you have in mind? And we're like, we don't even have a year in mind.
Yeah. Yeah, that's like, there's probably everybody that has ever been engaged. I'm sure that you can relate. But why is that the number one question?
Like, when are you getting married? I mean, hell, I think of it like, I remember when Ben and Sammy got engaged, all I could think of was like, oh my God, this is going to be an awesome wedding. When are you guys getting married?
No, that has never been like the first thing that comes to my mind. Congratulations.
Right, yeah.
How'd it happen?
Absolutely.
Let me see the ring. Like, but to just hot out of the gate being like, when are you getting married? And be like, I don't know. I don't even remember if I said yes.
That is true. We really had to look back at it.
I mean, but like that is the craziest part. And then it was funny because like any of my toxic thoughts that we've all talked about before is like, what was the percentage that you thought I was going to say no?
And I said the wrong percentage.
Which was crazy. And I put it into context of like, okay, you have a pizza and you have X amount of slices. You thought one whole slice was going to be no?
That's just those toxic thoughts.
He said 17%. He thought I was going to say no.
I thought 17% was pretty low.
You think I'm a bad person.
That's exactly what she said. I said no. And if you did say no, that was really going to be the shock and awe because we've talked about it and you're a very transparent person and don't necessarily dance around things. So if I thought there was really a good chance that you were going to say no, I wouldn't have done it. And you would have also made it known that you either weren't ready to be engaged or didn't want to be engaged yet, and that was never a conversation.
We've had that conversation because there was a point where I was like, don't be pulling this out of your hat anytime right now.
Right. Yeah.
But no, yeah.
Went well.
But he was like, what was a percentage that you were going to say no? I was like, well, I don't even remember giving you an answer. But if I thought about it and was coherent with it, 0. I'm not a bad person. I was like, our vehicles, our bank accounts, our house, our dogs, our life. You don't think at this point it's already a little bit too far gone?
A little solidified already.
But yeah.
Oh.
Oh.
Bad dogs.
Bad dogs.
They're barking with their collar on it.
Oh. Oh.
Oh, fireworks. New Year's Eve. That's going to send the dogs into a tizzy.
Yeah.
That's not
Especially
good.
the fluff dog.
Should I let him up?
No. I would just shut the door.
Sorry, everybody who's probably listening to this in their car the next day. And
it's kind of perfect because we did advertise we have bad dogs.
We do have bad dogs. But no, it went really well. And 2 to 3 months before I knew I wanted or was planning to propose, I worked with a good friend of mine, Austin, who's one of our editors for the BB Fam. And we worked on an awesome 15-minute long video of photos from Kenny and I growing up and being in high school and, steps after high school and us, living together and, being roommates and best friends and kind of going through life and finally getting to a point where we were both ready to be in a relationship and then stitch in the proposal and the lead up to it and the actual proposal video. It was an awesome video and Austin worked a long, many hours on it, and it came out really good. So something that we get to have, for our future, and got some good video out of the proposal, obviously, and
yeah,
and some good still frame photos of it. So it came out really good, and
yeah. No, I mean,
It was stressful.
yeah, not very much me. It's funny because you brought Lewis, my boss, in, into the loop on all of it, so he knew a couple days before it actually happened.
Yep.
But
I didn't really tell any. I was too afraid to tell your friends. I didn't want anybody to mistakenly spill the beans or give you like oh, I bet it'll happen soon, whatever else. I was just like, I'm keeping it close. Like, you tell one person, 100 people know.
Yeah.
And my mission was to A, make it special, and B, not predictable. And I think I did that.
Yeah. But like we talk about it at work because obviously with your dad working at Raintree and, having people kind of know now. I mean, it's on our social media. We like there's a lot of crosswire. So people will come up and they'll say anything, and I'm one of those people where I think about it, and I think about it in the funny ways. Is I didn't do any of the work. I didn't do any of it.
True.
I just had to answer the question.
Yeah.
So I think it's so funny when people are like, oh, like I had somebody, I didn't tell you this, I had this guy come in, and he's a close member of mine, a good relationship, good guy, his son's also a member, and he kept saying that he was proud of me. And Lewis and I was looking at Lewis, and I was like, what is this guy saying? And then he left, and I was like, what is he proud of me? Is he proud of me that I landed somebody that could buy a ring? that he's proud of me that I said yes. He's proud of me that I could find somebody in my life. But I think it's so funny on now that we're on this side of it is how people react. It's like we've talked about the same conversations with our close friends who, have gotten married and starting families, and what questions at what phases people ask is oh, when's the date? Oh, when do you plan on having kids? Oh,
right.
At what point is it oversharing or over communicating? Because I'm also the person who I'm just at this point it was happened on the 21st. I'm just trying to get through the rest of 2025.
We still got Christmas to go through.
I was didn't get the ring on my finger. I'm I got to book a wedding planner.
Right.
But that's also not the type of people that we are. But
in what sense? Because if you said start planning a wedding, I would immediately start planning a wedding.
No, I know. But I think in terms of overzealously trying to force it.
Yeah, no, forcing it, no. And I've learned not to force it because many years ago I was in love with my roommate who was not in love with me. And forcing it didn't work then, so forcing anything in our relationship, I know better.
Yeah, because you get your feelings hurt.
I don't get my feelings hurt, I'm just disappointed and sad.
I don't know if anybody knows how to translate that into any other way. But
it all worked out, and we're here, and we're engaged.
Yes, we're engaged.
Now we have a lot of other things to figure out.
Like what?
Well, we kind of talked about a wedding. When I asked do people still do engagement parties? Is that a thing? What does that even mean? And then oh, once we pick a date, then we gotta ask people to be our brides. What's the bride thing? The
Bridesmaids.
Bridesmaids. Jesus Christ. You got to think about who you're going to ask to be bridesmaids, then ask them, and your groomsmen, and then you got to have your groomsmen hopefully set up a good bachelor party, and the same thing with the bridesmaids. It's just all that's got to happen, and that's a lot.
Yeah, I don't know about all that. But we've also talked about not having a traditional wedding.
Right. Yeah. And again, I don't want a black tie $100,000 wedding with 350 people, but I also don't want hey, let's get married in the backyard. I'll pick up dog poop and we'll order cupcakes. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We'll figure something out.
Yeah, I don't know. I think that when that time comes for us to have that conversation, we will have it. But yeah. I don't think we've even scratched the surface on it. I think that we're just enjoying the engagement part of it.
And that's exactly what Ben and Sammy said.
It's just there's no reason to rush.
Yep.
If we wanted to wake up tomorrow and go to, town hall, sign papers and have it be
up.
that, then
do you think they'd wonder if it was fraud if we went in there, got married, didn't kiss, and just dabbed each other? If we all right, yep, I do, or whatever they do at the town hall, we sign the marriage certificate, and then we're just there you go, brother, and dab up and just walk out. Do you think they're doing something illegal? They're trying to get tax reductions or something.
I don't care. I think that they could do enough research.
Yeah, Google us.
Google me, playa.
Yeah.
No, I don't know. I think that time will tell.
Yeah, maybe next week we go to the town hall, and then in 8 months we rent out the VFW and have a party.
Yeah.
Who knows?
I think that there would be a lot of angry people.
I think there would be angry people. I think there's probably somewhere in that is some sort of the mix that is still a wedding, but also fits what we want.
Yeah.
Because we know we're not getting married in church.
No.
We know we're not doing very, very super traditional things. I think it'd be great to find a spot on Lake Norman and have a very, very short ceremony and then just a big long party.
Yeah, I don't really want a ceremony.
Dang, Gina. Okay, yeah.
I don't want a ceremony with everybody that we're going to invite.
That's fair.
I have no interest in that. There's people that I would have no problem doing the actual action of a ceremony and getting married in front of them, but that's our immediate family.
Yeah, and I mean we've talked about in the sense of having to invite people and feeling obligated, or you went to their wedding when you were 10, or they're a family member so you have to invite them. But I think we're very much both on the same page of we're not going to invite people that we're not close with. There's not going to be invites just because.
Yeah, but I'm also speaking in the sense of the actual ceremony. There's people that I wouldn't mind inviting and celebrating with, but I don't feel the need of, say I do and you may kiss the bride in front of them. That's none of their business. None of their business. I enjoy privacy. Kenny
does like her privacy.
I enjoy privacy. I enjoy our relationship staying in private. Obviously it's an oxymoron in the fact that we have a podcast and you are a level to a public figure and our lives are very much out there. But what is ours and what is our relationship is very much private to me.
Yeah, I respect that. Absolutely.
It's the same thing as if we're even with our families, it's not like we're ever all over each other.
Right.
I'm not a PDA girl.
No.
There's also situations how we interact at home is not how we interact out in public. And then there's been times where I'm we're in public, just a reminder, not just to in certain situations, but it's just I like our private life staying private. That's the only thing that I enjoy keeping.
No, especially nowadays where everything is on the internet. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. No, I agree. I wouldn't. I would have no issue.
Yeah.
No issue with a courthouse wedding and a party.
I wouldn't. I'm not saying courthouse
No,
wedding.
I'm not saying that either, but figuratively.
Yeah. No, I like private, so.
Yeah, Bo is freaking out right now.
Yeah.
Fireworks. I forgot. I didn't even think of that on New Year's Eve.
No, I didn't either, but I also don't know why in Eastern time at 8:44, why is anybody setting off fireworks?
Yeah, I don't know.
They're celebrating for
maybe their kids before they go to bed or something. You know how parents will set up the fake ball drop from a year prior and play it?
No.
I've seen TikToks of it where it's it's 7:30, the ball's about to drop, and it's either AI or a ball drop from 2025, and their kids go crazy. And it's all right, bedtime, you stay up till midnight, and they really didn't.
No, I've never seen that, but that's a great idea.
Yeah, I love that. But
that is awesome.
Yeah, we're back. We still have a lot to go over, but I don't think we really have the time today.
No, we scratched the surface, but
yeah,
We do want to talk a little bit before we leave about what our plans are for season 2.
Yeah, tell them.
You want me to tell them?
Tell them.
All right. So, obviously, in previous episodes and in our previous season, we did every week on Sundays, and it became a lot.
Yeah.
And it became a lot when our family was here. And to be honest, we had a very large guilty conscience when it came to our followers, our subscribers, you know, the people that are listening, active listeners. And like, to be honest, in the past week and a half, especially after the engagement, we've had more people reach out to us being like,
A lot more.
we want you guys back and we want to talk. We want to hear, you know, the different side of your relationship.
What's been going on, all that good stuff.
And there's things that everybody wants to talk about. So, you know, we want that back in our lives, but we also need to have a healthy balance where it's a good, positive relationship. So what we are going to do moving forward is we're going to have our live episode on Monday nights. We're going to do it most likely every other week, unless if there's something big coming around.
Right.
And we will always have it posted every other week. And if we do a live beforehand because we have something going on, then we will plan that and we will let everybody know. But we will always have it posted every other week on Monday nights.
Right. And maybe those episodes become a little bit longer than an hour because they're every other week. All depends on what we've got going on, the material that we got. So keep that in mind going forward. We always talk about it. We want your guys' input, your write-ins, your thoughts, your questions, all that kind of good stuff. So again, DM us on social media on either, you know, the BK Lounge Instagram, my Instagram, Kenny's Instagram. Those will be linked in the chat right now, as well as in our Discord. We have a section for write-ins. Again, if you're in a situation and you want input, if you just have, you know, a random question about Kenny or I or us or whatever it may be, please let us know because we want to talk about the things that you all want to talk about and just have a good connection with you all. And it's not just us sitting in here telling you about our week or our month or what happened because, again, you guys are the ones that make this podcast successful. We're doing it not just for you guys, but it's something that we enjoy and it's a project for us. But we very much want to have that interaction with each and every one of you. So just keep that in mind going forward. Let us know your thoughts, ideas, maybe games we could play like this. You know, there's all sorts of different things that we can do, and we want to know what you guys want us to talk about.
Bless up.
Bless up.
And today is New Year's Eve.
Oh, yes. Yes, it is.
So we're going to ring in the new year with having our season 2. But we also want to make sure that everybody has a healthy, safe new year.
Yes.
And we have big things coming in 2026.
Yes. Well, let's make it the best year we can. And there's only one way of doing it. It's trying. You can't make change if you don't try.
Nope.
Nothing changes if nothing changes.
Amen.
So make sure y'all are following us on Apple Music, Spotify, YouTube. You've obviously liked the Twitch page, and you join us in 2 weeks on Monday for Season 2, Episode 2 of the BK Lounge. Any last words, Kenneth?
Love ya. Bye.
Love you. Bye. Y'all be good.
This has been the BK Lounge Podcast with Burt and Kenny. We hope you enjoyed your time diving deep in on wild topics, listening to crazy stories, and hanging out with us. We'll see you next week live on Twitch. Be sure to check out our website for all our social links at www.thebkloungepod.com. Y'all be good now, and we'll see you next time.